Find out what happens if you put salt in the corners of your house. Spirituality, Buddhist teachings. Have you ever wondered what happens if you place salt in the corners of your house? Do you know the profound spiritual practice rooted in ancient Buddhist teachings that monks and wise healers have cherished for centuries? In the captivating story you are about to hear, you'll uncover the remarkable benefits of salt and its deep symbolic and spiritual significance. Stay with us until the end to ensure you don't miss a moment of this invaluable wisdom, as the insights you gain will aid you in your journey towards inner peace. But before we dive in, make sure to subscribe to the Journey of Wisdom and turn on notifications. This way, you'll always be updated with new content to support your spiritual growth. The Buddhist story, Ritual of Salt in House Corners. In a secluded Buddhist monastery nestled in the Japanese mountains, the venerable old monk Hiroshi shared stories of profound wisdom with his devoted disciples. Dear disciples, there is an ancient practice that may seem simple but is deeply rooted in Buddhist wisdom and carries significant symbolic and spiritual implications, the monk began. Placing coarse salt in the corners of your home may appear to be a trivial act, but you must observe the results. It's like planting a seed of change and witnessing its growth. A young monk, eyebrows raised in skepticism, confessed, "I used to doubt this practice, but now I am curious about what might happen if I tried it." Salt has been highly valued throughout history, regarded as more than just a seasoning, Hiroshi explained. It was traded like gold and believed by many to possess magical properties. But why place salt in the corners of the house? Another young nun inquired. Hiroshi responded, "Salt's purpose extends beyond enhancing the flavor of food. Its history is much richer." Thus, the monk began a tale spanning ancient cultures and civilizations. From the Egypt of the pharaohs to Gandhi's India, from Normandy to Bavaria, from Judaism to Buddhism, he illustrated how salt had been seen as a protective amulet, a symbol of life, and a means of purification and harmonization. "There is more to salt than meets the eye," Hiroshi said. "It serves as a bridge between us and the universe, a key to our connection with nature and ourselves." The disciples absorbed the monk's words, reflecting on the depth behind the simple act of placing salt in the corners of their homes. They began to grasp that even small actions can lead to significant changes when they are deeply connected to wisdom and awareness. "Every practice has a beginning," Hiroshi started, "and the use of salt as a tool for purification and transformation is rooted in the past, woven with the stories of monks, sages, and ordinary people." The disciples leaned in, eager to learn the secrets Hiroshi was about to reveal. "In Buddhist tradition," he continued calmly, "salt is seen as a protective amulet capable of repelling negative energies and purifying the spaces it occupies." A young nun, curious, raised her hand. "But how did this practice originate?" she asked. Hiroshi smiled and replied, "In ancient times, corners were thought to be places where stagnant energies could gather, creating an imbalance in the home. Placing salt in these spots created an energetic barrier that repelled negative influences." As Hiroshi continued his narration, the disciples' eyes sparkled with interest. In Japan, for instance, salt is used in Shinto purification rituals to eliminate spiritual impurities and guard against evil spirits. Although this practice has evolved over the centuries, its profound meaning remains unchanged. Many elders still practice it today, passing it down to their descendants. Hiroshi's words transported the disciples to a world of ancient beliefs, superstitions, and traditional wisdom. They began to see the simple act of placing salt in the corners of their homes as a form of protection and harmonization with the universe. But the power of salt extends beyond mere protection, Hiroshi continued, his eyes gleaming with wisdom. Salt can transform stagnant energies into positivity and create an environment conducive to personal growth and emotional well-being. The disciples listened intently, captivated by the monk's teachings. The concept of using salt as a tool for purification and transformation was becoming clearer and more meaningful to them. "And now," Hiroshi said, as the fire crackled gently, "I will demonstrate a simple yet powerful method for using salt to purify and harmonize your home environment." With a sense of anticipation, the disciples moved closer, eager to uncover the master's secrets. They understood that, while salt might seem ordinary, its power was indeed profound and transformative. Hiroshi was prepared to guide them on a journey of discovery through ancient practices involving this humble yet potent element. "First," the elderly monk began, "we must comprehend the role of salt in our daily lives and its connection to the energies surrounding us. Salt has been treasured throughout history," Hiroshi continued, "not only for its culinary uses, but also for its physical and symbolic properties. It has been viewed as a divine gift, a symbol of purification and protection against dark forces." As he spoke, Hiroshi displayed a variety of salts collected from around the world, from raw sea salt to pink Himalayan salt crystals. "Each type of salt has its own unique vibration," he explained. "Using salt correctly involves understanding this diversity and its effects on our environment and inner energy." The disciples examined the various salts with curiosity, aware that their significance extended beyond merely enhancing flavors in food. "But how can we fully harness the power of salt in our lives?" one of the monks asked, eager to apply his newfound knowledge. "That's an excellent question," Hiroshi replied with a smile. "The key lies in intention and mindful practice. I will show you a method to purify and protect your home environment. The moon is a powerful energy catalyst," Hiroshi explained, "and when salt is exposed to its light, it becomes charged with purifying and harmonizing energy." The disciples watched in awe as the salt absorbed the moon's silvery light, radiating an aura of tranquility and power. "This salt," said Hiroshi, "can be used to create a circle of protection around your home or to purify interior spaces." With a graceful gesture, he took a pinch of salt from the bowl and scattered it around the perimeter of the monastery courtyard, tracing an invisible circle of protection. "This circle," he explained, "will form an energetic barrier that repels negative influences and promotes peace and harmony within its boundaries." The disciples watched reverently as Hiroshi completed the salt circle, sensing the presence of a protective energy enveloping the monastery. It felt as if the place had been embraced by a loving and powerful force. "But the power of salt is not confined to external protection," Hiroshi continued. "It can also purify and harmonize internal spaces, creating an environment that fosters spiritual growth and well-being." With that, he led the disciples inside the monastery, guiding them through various practices involving salt to purify and harmonize the internal spaces. Each action was performed with mindfulness and intention as the disciples learned to connect with the power of salt and transform the energies around them. "Have you noticed how humidity can accumulate on the walls of your home, especially in certain areas?" Hiroshi asked, looking at each disciple. They all nodded, recalling instances when they had observed this phenomenon. "Placing salt in those spots can be extremely beneficial," Hiroshi continued. "Salt has the ability to absorb humidity from the surrounding air, helping to prevent mold formation and protect our health. But that's not all," he added with a smile, hinting at another revelation. "Salt can also combat bad odors in domestic environments. placing small bowls of salt in strategic locations around the home, like the kitchen or bathroom, can help absorb and neutralize unpleasant smells, Hiroshi explained. In this way, salt acts as a natural air purifier, keeping rooms fresh and pleasant. These benefits of salt, although not directly linked to spirituality, have a strong connection to our spiritual path. Just as it absorbs humidity and odors, salt also absorbs energies, emotions, and negative presences. Therefore, it holds a powerful symbolic and spiritual role that each of us should consider. Reflecting on the story of monk Hiroshi and the profound significance of using salt for purification and protection, what are your thoughts on trying this ancient practice in your own home? Comment number 1 if you're interested in giving it a try, or comment yes if you believe in the power of traditional wisdom. Philosophical reflections and lessons from the story. 1. The power of small actions. The power of small actions. The practice of placing salt in the corners of your home, though seemingly simple, carries profound symbolic and spiritual significance. This teaches us that small, mindful actions can lead to significant changes. Just as a seed can grow into a mighty tree, small practices rooted in wisdom can transform our lives. This ancient ritual of using salt, often seen as a purifier, protector, and preserver, is a testament to the power of intention in everyday actions. As Buddha said, "The mind is everything. What you think you become." When you place salt in the corners of your home, you are not just engaging in a physical act, but also setting an intention for purity and protection in your life. Consider how this principle applies to modern life. In our fast-paced world, it is easy to overlook the small things, believing only grand gestures can make a difference. However, true transformation often starts with the smallest steps. For instance, dedicating just a few minutes each day to meditation or mindful breathing can significantly impact your mental well-being. Similarly, expressing gratitude for the little things in life can shift your perspective and increase your overall happiness. These small acts, though they may seem insignificant in isolation, accumulate to create profound change over time. Imagine the daily ritual of placing salt in the corners of your home as a metaphor for these small but powerful actions. Each grain of salt represents a moment of mindfulness, a decision to live with intention, and a step toward a more balanced and harmonious life. This ritual reminds us that we have the power to influence our environment and our inner state through simple, consistent practices. As Lao Tzu wisely said, "The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step." Embracing this mindset can help us recognize the value of small actions and encourage us to integrate them into our daily routines. In our relationships too, the power of small actions is evident. A kind word, a thoughtful gesture, or a moment of active listening can strengthen our connections and build trust over time. These small acts of kindness and compassion, when practiced consistently, can transform our relationships and create a more supportive and loving environment. Reflect on the story of a man who, despite his busy schedule, made it a point to write a short note of appreciation to his wife every day. Over time, these notes became a cherished ritual that deepened their bond and reminded them of their love for each other. This story illustrates how small actions, grounded in mindfulness and intention, can have a lasting and profound impact. In the realm of personal growth, the principle of small actions is equally powerful. Setting aside just 10 minutes a day to read a book, learn a new skill, or practice a hobby can lead to significant personal development over time. This concept is mirrored in the Buddhist teaching that a jug fills drop by drop. By consistently investing small amounts of time and effort, we can achieve great things and continuously evolve. This approach can help us overcome feelings of overwhelm and procrastination, as we recognize that we do not need to make huge changes all at once. Instead, we can focus on taking small, manageable steps toward our goals. Moreover, in the context of health and well-being, the power of small actions cannot be overstated. Simple habits like drinking enough water, taking short walks, or incorporating more fruits and vegetables into our diet can lead to substantial improvements in our physical health. These small daily actions, though they may seem trivial, collectively contribute to a healthier and more vibrant life. As we embrace the practice of placing salt in the corners of our homes, we can also commit to incorporating these small health habits into our daily routines, recognizing their cumulative impact on our overall well-being. Ultimately, the practice of placing salt in the corners of your home is a powerful reminder of the significance of small actions. It teaches us that by living with intention and mindfulness, we can create positive change in our lives and our surroundings. This ancient ritual encourages us to appreciate the power of small, consistent actions and to integrate them into our daily lives, recognizing that even the smallest steps can lead to profound transformations. By embracing this mindset, we can cultivate a life of purpose, harmony, and continuous growth. As the Dalai Lama wisely advised, if you think you are too small to make a difference, try sleeping with a mosquito. This quote encapsulates the essence of our discussion, reminding us that even the smallest actions can have a significant impact. 2. Historical and cultural significance. The story illustrates the historical and cultural significance of salt across various civilizations. Understanding the rich history behind such practices can deepen our appreciation and connection to these traditions. It reminds us to value the wisdom passed down through generations and recognize the interconnectedness of all cultures. Salt has been revered throughout history for its preservative, purifying, and protective qualities. In ancient times, it was so valuable that it was often used as currency, symbolizing not only wealth, but also a connection to the earth and its resources. The practice of placing salt in the corners of your home may seem simple, but it is rooted in a deep cultural heritage that spans across various societies. From the ancient Egyptians who used salt in mummification to preserve the dead for the afterlife, to the Romans who salted their roads and used salt as a part of religious rituals, the significance of salt transcends time and geography. By engaging in this practice, you are connecting with a tradition that has been carried forward through centuries. It's a small act that honors the past and brings a sense of continuity and respect for the wisdom of our ancestors. As the Buddha said, health is the greatest gift, contentment the greatest wealth, faithfulness the best relationship. This quote underscores the idea that the simplest elements, such as salt, can hold profound meaning and value. Think about how we can apply this wisdom to our modern lives. In our busy, fast-paced world, we often overlook the small, meaningful practices that can bring a sense of peace and grounding. The act of placing salt in the corners of your home can serve as a daily reminder to slow down and appreciate the rich tapestry of human history and culture that we are a part of. It's a way to honor the past and bring its lessons into the present, enriching our lives with a sense of purpose and connection. Consider the story of a monk who once lived in a small village. Every morning he would sprinkle a pinch of salt around the monastery's grounds, a practice taught to him by his master. This ritual was not merely about the act itself, but about the intention behind it. It was a daily reminder of the purity and protection that salt symbolizes, as well as a way to honor the teachings passed down through generations. The villagers, observing his practice, began to adopt it in their own homes, creating a community bound by shared tradition and mutual respect. This simple act fostered a sense of unity and continuity, reminding everyone of their shared heritage and the power of small, mindful actions. How can you incorporate such meaningful practices into your life? Perhaps it's through daily meditation, mindful eating, or simple acts of kindness. These small actions, when done with intention, can create a ripple effect, bringing more peace and connection into your life and the lives of those around you. Reflect on the interconnectedness of our global culture and how ancient practices can still hold relevance today. By understanding and appreciating these traditions, we can bring a deeper sense of meaning and connection to our modern lives. Now let's explore a Buddhist teaching that aligns with this practice. In the Dhammapada, it is said, "Better than 1,000 hollow words is one word that brings peace." This teaching reminds us that it is not the grandeur of our actions that matters, but the sincerity and intention behind them. Placing salt in the corners of your home is a humble act, yet it carries with it the weight of centuries of tradition and the power to bring peace and protection to your space. What traditions or practices from your own heritage could you reintroduce into your daily routine to create a sense of continuity and connection? How can these small, intentional actions transform your environment and your state of mind? As you ponder these questions, remember the power of small actions and the importance of honoring the wisdom of the past. By integrating these practices into your life, you not only enrich your own experience, but also contribute to the preservation and appreciation of cultural heritage. Embrace the lessons of history and let them guide you towards a more mindful, connected, and meaningful life. 3. Mindful intention. Hiroshi emphasizes the importance of intention and mindful practice in harnessing the power of salt. This reflects the broader Buddhist teaching that our intentions shape our actions and their outcomes. By approaching tasks with mindfulness and purpose, we can infuse even the simplest acts with meaning and positive energy. Imagine yourself placing salt in the corners of your house, a seemingly mundane task, yet when performed with mindful intention, it transforms into a powerful ritual. This act becomes a symbol of your commitment to purity and protection, echoing the Buddhist principle that our thoughts and intentions are the seeds of our actions. As Buddha wisely said, "What we think, we become." This teaching reminds us that the energy we put into our actions is just as important as the actions themselves. When you perform this ritual with a clear and positive intention, you are not only purifying your home, but also setting a tone of mindfulness and positivity in your life. Think about how often we rush through our daily tasks without giving them much thought. From making our morning coffee to driving to work, we operate on autopilot, missing opportunities to infuse our actions with intention. Imagine the difference it would make if you approached each task with the same mindful intention as placing salt in the corners of your home. Each action, no matter how small, would be a reflection of your inner state, radiating positive energy and purpose. This practice encourages you to slow down and be present, turning routine activities into meaningful rituals. How can you bring this level of mindful intention into your own life? Start by identifying small, everyday tasks that you can perform with more awareness. It could be something as simple as washing dishes or taking a walk. By focusing your mind and setting a positive intention, you transform these ordinary activities into opportunities for mindfulness and spiritual growth. As Thich Nhat Hanh said, "Walk as if you are kissing the earth with your feet." This quote beautifully captures the essence of mindful living, reminding us to engage fully with each moment and action. Think about the last time you completed a task with full awareness and intention. How did it feel? Were you more connected to the present moment? Did you notice a shift in your energy? Reflecting on these questions can help you understand the power of mindful intention and inspire you to incorporate it into more areas of your life. By doing so, you create a ripple effect of positive energy that can enhance your well-being and the well-being of those around you. In the context of Buddhist teachings, mindful intention is a fundamental principle. It teaches us that the quality of our actions is determined by the quality of our thoughts and intentions. When we approach life with a mindful and positive attitude, we are more likely to experience positive outcomes. This principle can be applied to everything we do, from our interactions with others to our personal goals and aspirations. By cultivating mindful intention, we align our actions with our deepest values and create a more meaningful and fulfilling life. As you think about the practice of placing salt in the corners of your home, consider how this simple act can serve as a reminder to live with intention and mindfulness. It's a small but powerful way to connect with the present moment and infuse your life with positive energy. What other practices or rituals can you adopt to cultivate mindful intention in your daily routine? How can you use these practices to enhance your spiritual growth and well-being? Ultimately, the lesson of mindful intention is about recognizing the power of our thoughts and actions. It's about understanding that even the simplest acts, when performed with mindfulness and purpose, can have a profound impact on our lives. By embracing this principle, you can transform your everyday tasks into meaningful rituals that reflect your inner state and contribute to your overall sense of peace and well-being. As you move forward, remember the words of the Buddha. With our thoughts, we make the world. Let this wisdom guide you as you cultivate mindful intention in all that you do, creating a life filled with purpose, positivity, and spiritual growth. If you've watched up to this point, you're already on the path to unlocking the spiritual secrets of using salt in your home. Comment below with "spiritual journey" to affirm your commitment to these transformative practices. Don't go anywhere. There's still a wealth of insights we want to share with you in this video. Stay until the end to uncover the secrets that will enhance your spiritual well-being. 4. Protection and purification. Salt's use as a protective and purifying agent symbolizes the need to create and maintain harmonious environments. Just as salt repels negative energies and purifies spaces, we should strive to cultivate positive surroundings and protect our mental and spiritual well-being from negativity. This ancient practice of using salt for protection and purification has been embraced by numerous cultures throughout history, underscoring its universal significance. From the ancient Egyptians, who used salt in their mummification processes to ensure the purity of the soul, to the Japanese, who sprinkle salt at the entrance of their homes to ward off evil spirits, the symbolic power of salt transcends cultural boundaries and connects us to a shared human experience. In our modern lives, we often find ourselves surrounded by negativity, whether it's from external sources like stressful work environments or internal sources such as self-doubt and anxiety. By adopting the ritual of placing salt in the corners of your home, you create a tangible reminder to actively protect and purify your personal space. This simple act can serve as a daily affirmation to cleanse your surroundings of negative influences and to invite positivity and peace into your life. As the Buddha once said, "Peace comes from within. Do not seek it without." This quote highlights the importance of taking proactive steps to maintain our inner peace and well-being, rather than relying solely on external circumstances. Consider the story of a wise monk who lived in a small village. Every morning, he would walk through the village, sprinkling salt at the thresholds of homes and public buildings. The villagers noticed that wherever the monk went, a sense of calm and protection seemed to follow. They began to adopt his practice, recognizing that the act of spreading salt was not just about the physical substance, but about the intention and mindfulness behind it. This story illustrates how small, mindful actions can have a profound impact on our environment and our state of mind. How can you apply this principle to your daily life? Start by identifying the sources of negativity in your environment and take steps to address them. This might involve setting boundaries with toxic individuals, creating a peaceful space for meditation and reflection, or simply decluttering your living space to remove physical and mental distractions. By taking these actions, you can create an environment that supports your mental and spiritual well-being. As the philosopher Epictetus said, "The more we value things outside our control, the less control we have." By focusing on what we can control, our actions and our surroundings, we can cultivate a sense of empowerment and tranquility. Additionally, think about the importance of protecting your mental and spiritual well-being from negativity. This might involve practicing mindfulness, engaging in regular self-reflection, or seeking support from a community of like-minded individuals. Just as salt is used to preserve food and protect it from spoilage, we can use mindful practices to preserve our mental clarity and protect ourselves from the corrosive effects of negativity. Reflect on the words of the Dalai Lama. Just as ripples spread out when a single pebble is dropped into water, the actions of individuals can have far-reaching effects. By cultivating positive habits and protecting our well-being, we can create ripples of positivity that extend beyond our immediate environment. In the context of Buddhist teachings, the practice of protection and purification is deeply rooted in the concept of mindfulness and intention. When we approach life with a clear and positive mindset, we are better equipped to navigate challenges and maintain our inner peace. This principle can be applied to all aspects of our lives, from our relationships to our personal growth. By embracing the practice of placing salt in the corners of your home, you are not only honoring a time-honored tradition, but also reinforcing your commitment to living a mindful and intentional life. As you think about the practice of using salt for protection and purification, consider how this simple act can serve as a powerful metaphor for your own life. What steps can you take to protect yourself from negativity and cultivate a positive environment? How can you use mindfulness and intention to purify your thoughts and actions? By reflecting on these questions, you can gain a deeper understanding of the importance of protecting and purifying your mental and spiritual well-being. As the philosopher Epictetus said, "The more we value things outside our control, the less control we have." By focusing on what we can control, our actions and our surroundings, we can cultivate a sense of empowerment and tranquility. Additionally, think about the importance of protecting your mental and spiritual well-being from negativity. This might involve practicing mindfulness, engaging in regular self-reflection, or seeking support from a community of like-minded individuals. Just as salt is used to preserve food and protect it from spoilage, we can use mindful practices to preserve our mental clarity and protect ourselves from the corrosive effects of negativity. Reflect on the words of the Dalai Lama. Just as ripples spread out when a single pebble is dropped into water, the actions of individuals can have far-reaching effects. By cultivating positive habits and protecting our well-being, we can create ripples of positivity that extend beyond our immediate environment. In the context of Buddhist teachings, the practice of protection and purification is deeply rooted in the concept of mindfulness and intention. When we approach life with a clear and positive mindset, we are better equipped to navigate challenges and maintain our inner peace. This principle can be applied to all aspects of our lives, from our relationships to our personal growth. By embracing the practice of placing salt in the corners of your home, you're not only honoring a time-honored tradition, but also reinforcing your commitment to living a mindful and intentional life. As you think about the practice of using salt for protection and purification, consider how this simple act can serve as a powerful metaphor for your own life. What steps can you take to protect yourself from negativity and cultivate a positive environment? How can you use mindfulness and intention to purify your thoughts and actions? By reflecting on these questions, you can gain a deeper understanding of the importance of protecting and purifying your mental and spiritual well-being. Ultimately, the lesson of salt teaches us that even the simplest actions, when performed with mindfulness and intention, can have a profound impact on our lives. As you move forward, remember the words of the Buddha, "With our thoughts, we make the world." Let this wisdom guide you as you strive to create a life filled with peace, positivity, and spiritual growth. 5. Connection to nature and the universe. Salt is described as a bridge between us and the universe, highlighting the Buddhist principle of interconnectedness. Recognizing our connection to nature and the universe can foster a sense of harmony and balance in our lives. This awareness encourages us to live in alignment with natural rhythms and energies. When you consider the humble grain of salt, you might not immediately think of it as a profound symbol of connection. Yet, salt has played a vital role in human history, both as a preservative and as a sacred substance in various cultures. Its ability to preserve and purify reflects the enduring nature of our connection to the world around us. The Buddha taught that we are shaped by our thoughts. We become what we think. This teaching reminds us that our perception of the world is a powerful force in shaping our reality. By seeing salt as a bridge to the universe, we acknowledge our role in the vast web of existence, where every action and thought reverberates through the cosmos. Imagine walking barefoot on a sandy beach, feeling the grains of salt beneath your feet. This tactile experience connects you to the earth and the ocean, reminding you of the cyclical nature of water, evaporating and crystallizing into salt. Just as salt emerges from the sea, we too are products of our environment, shaped by the natural world and its rhythms. This connection to nature is not merely a poetic idea, but a practical guide for living a balanced life. When we align ourselves with the natural world, we tap into a source of strength and wisdom that has sustained life for millennia. A Buddhist story beautifully illustrates this connection. Once, a young monk asked his teacher how to find peace amidst the chaos of life. The teacher took him to a serene lake and asked him to throw a handful of salt into the water. As the salt dissolved, the teacher explained that the lake, representing the monk's mind, remained calm despite the addition of salt, symbolizing external disturbances. The lesson was clear. When we recognize our inherent connection to the vast universe, our mind remains at peace, unaffected by the temporary troubles of life. Consider how this principle applies to your daily life. In our modern world, it's easy to feel disconnected from nature, especially when we are surrounded by technology and urban environments. Yet, even small acts can help restore this connection. Taking a moment to breathe deeply and appreciate the natural world around you, whether it's a park, a garden, or even the sky above, can ground you and remind you of your place in the universe. This practice of mindfulness, of being fully present in the moment, helps cultivate a sense of harmony and balance. The interconnectedness emphasized in Buddhist teachings also encourages us to consider the impact of our actions on the environment. Simple choices like reducing waste, conserving water, and respecting wildlife are ways we can honor our connection to the earth. As Thich Nhat Hanh said, "The mind can go in 1,000 directions, but on this beautiful path I walk in peace. With each step the wind blows, with each step a flower blooms." This quote encapsulates the idea that mindful living in harmony with nature brings peace and joy. Reflect on your own experiences. Have you ever felt a deep sense of peace when immersed in nature? Perhaps a hike in the mountains, a walk by the sea, or even tending to a garden has brought you a sense of tranquility and connection. These moments remind us of our bond with the natural world and the importance of nurturing this relationship. By integrating mindful practices into our daily routine, we can strengthen this connection and bring more balance into our lives. As you think about the practice of placing salt in the corners of your home, see it as a ritual that connects you to the broader universe. It's a simple act that carries profound meaning, a reminder of your place in the grand scheme of things. Ultimately, the lesson here is about recognizing and honoring our deep connection to the universe. By understanding this interconnectedness, we can live more harmoniously and mindfully, creating a life that is balanced and in tune with the natural world. As you move forward, remember the words of the Buddha: "Just as a candle cannot burn without fire, men cannot live without a spiritual life." Let this wisdom guide you in nurturing your connection to nature and the universe, fostering a life filled with peace, balance, and spiritual growth. Thank you for joining us on this journey to uncover the spiritual secrets of using salt in your home. By embracing this ancient practice, you are connecting with centuries of wisdom and enhancing your spiritual well-being. If you found this video insightful, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends and family, and subscribe to The Journey of Wisdom. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss our upcoming videos filled with more valuable teachings. Reflecting on the story of Monk Hiroshi and the significance of using salt for purification and protection, what are your thoughts on trying this ancient practice in your own home? Comment "spiritual journey" to affirm your commitment to these transformative practices. Stay tuned for more insights and wisdom that will continue to guide you on your spiritual path. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.